You see, God is omniscient. He is unchanging. So whatever plans he has infinitely had for every individual and for all the big picture stuff. What you see in Scripture is something like with the flood, where certain translations and things will say that he regretted making man. So the idea is that he didn't have like, oh, I made a bad decision. The word used there, the emphasis is the bad feeling you have that comes with regret. And so translators have often just said regret because they're thinking of the feeling of regret. In other words, it caused him lots of sorrow. It hurt him that they were all rejecting him, and it was a horrible situation. So that's a good word study solution. Then you come to something like Moses, where yes, Israel was being absolutely horrible, and
Again.
basically this is the Willoughby paraphrase. God says, "Stand aside, Moses. I'm going to blow them all up."
And I'm going to start over with you.
Yeah, starting over with you, Moses. And he goes, wait, no, don't do that. And Moses begins to persuade, air quotes, right? Persuade God not to. But what does he do? His arguments are basically, for your name's sake, for your glory, don't do this. And then basically God says, correct. The big lesson there was not that God changed his mind. He was trying to teach something. And he was teaching them that the only reason that you are alive and doing well is because I will be faithful to my covenant promises. I will do what is right. It is for the glory of my name. It is for my sake that I am doing all these things, including keeping you alive, which is an amazing thing. And so some people look at that and go, oh, he changed his mind, right? But no, not really. I don't think so at all. I think if you look at what the author's communicating, Moses didn't write that down because he's trying to show everyone how cool he is. No, he wrote that down because he learned something that day that was super valuable, and he wanted to share that. So no, I don't think so. But I do think that sometimes I can feel that God is pushing me in a certain direction, but that's me, right? And then it turns out I'm going in a different direction later. And what I find out looking back at my life is I go, oh, I see how God used that to develop me, to be what I need to be for this. And then later in my life, God may move me to something else.